So she sends an invitation to the entire city council and then turns around and 15 minutes later sends out an email that says, oh, yo, whiteys, you can't come. Sorry, didn't mean to invite you. The stupidity is outrageous.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu is defending a party that she hosted for an affinity group called Electeds of Color after a staff member in her office accidentally sent an email invitation to the full city council.
This has been a long-standing tradition. It was my turn to host. It's happened every single year, and also multiple other parties that everyone has been invited to. So, for example, Monday we're hosting the holiday party that the city hosts every single year, and inviting all of the city council, the state legislature, all of them.
Okay, so she sends an invitation to the entire city council and then turns around and 15 minutes later sends out an email that says, oh, yo, whiteys, you can't come. Sorry, didn't mean to invite you. Okay, color aside, you know how rude it is to resend an invitation? This is just bad manners, okay, to begin with. I've never accidentally invited someone to a party and then rescinded the invitation. It would just be terrible and rude and mean to do to anybody. But then to turn around and say, you can't come because of the color of your skin is the most 2023 Democrat thing I can think of. This is what they do. And they blame it on, a history of bad treatment of people of color, that we have to have this space for ourselves. Fun fact, there was slavery in Massachusetts at one point. You know who did it? The Native Americans. The Native Americans had slaves in Massachusetts before the Europeans colonized. And then once the Europeans came, Massachusetts never once had legal slavery. Never once. Massachusetts is very diverse. The city of Boston has always been very liberal. Yes, they've had racial tensions back, especially in the 70s when we had segregation, coming into the schools. And it wasn't the segregation so much that was the problem. It was the busing. They were taking kids out of their own communities and trying to bus them into other neighborhoods to try to give everyone a fair shot. Instead of just making all the schools good, they just wanted to take kids out of their own community. That was kind of the beginning of the separation of kids from their parents and getting parents to be unable to go to their kids' school because it's way on the other side of town. So that's where the real problems came in, and they said it was about racism. But anyway, so not to say that there's never been any tension, but we have come a long way since then. And we fought, well, I didn't fight because it was before I was born, but Americans fought to end segregation so that we could judge and accept people based on the content of their character, not on the color of their skin. And this asshole is sitting here carrying on about how this is a long-standing tradition and it is my turn to host and we'll continue to do this. And you can come to the other parties, you lowly whiteys. Are you out of your mind? If you want to have one that celebrates a particular culture, Chinese, Latino, Black, and within the Black community, there are so many different cultures. There's, Creole, Southern Creole, there's, Jamaican, we could go African music and food and all that. We could go on and on. Fine, but welcome everybody. Celebrate different cultures together. Segregation is harmful, divisive, and look at what it's done. She has put her city in the national spotlight for being a bigot, because she is a bigot. And I started calling a bunch of the city councilors because I wanted to know what they had to think. Now, you would think that if you are the center of a national news story, you might have a statement prepared for whoever answers the phone. You might have a stance. Let's look at what Gigi Coletta's office had to say.
Councilor Coletta's office.
Hi, my name is Elena. I'm actually just calling to see if the counselor has any response to being uninvited from last night's Christmas party because of the color of her skin.
No, she does not have a comment at this time.
Will she be taking a stance on this, do you know?
Not that I know of, but I'm happy to take down your name and number and I can check in with her.
No, I can call you back, but I really would like the counselor to take a stance on it, and we'd like to know if she supports segregation at City Hall, and if she's, willing to go further with it and maybe have segregation in bathrooms and schools and transportation again. But I'll give you a call back.
Okay. Take care.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Gigi's in over her head. She's a young girl. She has no idea what she's doing in the city council. Everything she touches turns to like woke rainbow nonsense. Then we could go over to Brian Worrell's office where they actually defended it. They think that this is just A-okay. Let's call Councilor Worrell.
District 4 Councilor Worrell's office. How can I help you?
Hello. I'm just calling to see if Councilor Worrell has anything to say about his white colleagues being uninvited from the last night's Christmas party.
May I ask what your address is?
Yep, I'm on Street in. And are you concerned that I am not in your district?
So we do primarily represent our district members. I'm actually more concerned if you're a Boston resident than anything else.
Yeah.
So we do, throughout politics, have groups that are based around different affinities, ethnicities, and backgrounds. And so Councilor Worrell does support the ability for these groups to exist and to gather together.
So can I ask, is he also for segregation in schools and in transportation, bathroom use, similar things like that?
No, he is not.
Okay, that's good to know. Because usually when celebrating different types of ethnicities, there's usually a welcome of all, at least here in America. I just thank you for making it clear that he is for segregation in publicly funded events. Have a good day.
Just to clarify, it is not a publicly funded event. It is taking place in a city location, but it is privately funded.
Oh, where does the funding come from?
I am actually not sure where they get their funding from, but Empower Boston has been an independent organization for, I believe, about a decade now.
So it is Empower Boston who put on the event for the city councilors that was taking place on city property that is paid for with tax dollars. Is that correct?
Yes, but again, anybody is able to sign out and utilize Boston spaces. You yourself could call a public library and request to have an event that would only be open to whomever you chose to invite.
Does the city of Boston allow for me to have a whites-only party at that event space?
That would be depending upon approval by the administrator of that site.
So the administrator of the site is the one who approved this people of color only party?
I'm not sure. That would be a question for the mayor's office.
Okay. Well, I'm just making that assumption because you just told me that the administrator of the site is the one who makes those decisions.
That's what I believe, but I would definitely check with the mayor's office to confirm.
Okay. Thank you again for confirming segregation is okay. Have a nice day.
You have a good day.
Oh, then there's Kendra Lara. So now Kendra Lara is one of my favorite city council stories in Boston. Now there's a lot of problems with the Boston City Council. And I mean, it's just like one after another. There's just like cringeworthy. Not all of them, but actually a lot of them. And Kendra Lara, this past summer, she drove in an unregistered vehicle with an expired inspection sticker, without insurance, with her 7-year-old kid in the back seat, not secured in a booster seat, and she drove into a house, and she's still sitting on the city council. This is a defund the police, because we don't need the police because people are honest and good. Look at all those laws that she just broke. And she's still sitting there because they protect her, because she's a diversity hire. She was elected for the color of her skin because white guilt is so big in Boston. Kendra Lara's office.
Hi, District 6 City Council's office is BJ speaking. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm just calling to see if City Councilor Lara has any comment on having her white fellow council members being uninvited from last night's Christmas party.
I can't speak to that, but I will give her a call and give you a call back. I have your number saved on the caller ID.
Okay, I would love to. Really understand 2 questions. One, how she feels about segregation at holiday parties among the city council, and exactly what other areas she is okay for having segregation. Is she wanting to support segregation in schools and transportation and bathrooms, things like that, or because it seems that's the direction we're moving in? So I appreciate what is your name?
My name is BJ. I will give her a call and ask her those questions.
Great. Thanks, BJ. Bye-bye. Boston used to be this tough town. It was this Irish Catholic town and people took no shit. And now all those Irish Catholic people are just sitting there letting everything they built get stomped on. I cannot believe it. I lived in Boston for 23 years and I knew these people and I believed them when they told me how tough they were. And all of them are scared. They're scared to open their mouths because a lot of the Boston Irish Catholic, they work for the city, they work for the state, and they're all just like, I don't want to mess with my pension. Yeah, good luck. You don't want to get uncomfortable and you don't want to band together and fight to save the city you built because you don't want to be inconvenienced. Not tough at all. That's not tough at all. Sorry. I'm so disappointed in the Sissy Mary status that Boston has become. And yeah, I am talking to everyone who you think I'm talking to. It's embarrassing. Anyway, I did find one city councilor who had a backbone and whose aide, when they answered the phone, was able to talk straight to me. And this was Erin Murphy, one of the Boston Irish who's still speaking the truth.
Councilor Murphy's office.
Hi, my name is Elena from and I am calling to see if Councilor Murphy has anything to say about being uninvited to last night's non-whites Christmas party.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're not for that, and we disagree with that. It's actually been going on for a decade now, but I guess it became a story because the invite went to all counselors, and then we're disinvited. So yeah, we just think it just doesn't set the right tone if we're trying to get the body and the city more united. So yeah, we're not for it and disagree with it.
Thank you. So I can by that is it fair to assume that you would never hold a whites only Christmas party?
God no.
Right. Okay. Thank you for being the only reasonable city councilor's office I have reached today. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Merry Christmas. Take care.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Erin Murphy's got a brain and a moral compass. She is wildly outnumbered. She's a Democrat, but she's like a normal Democrat. She's not one of these crazy progressives who are just constantly pushing DEI, who are constantly making everything free. Michelle Wu, we got to worry about the climate. No, the climate. Let's put more bike lanes in. It fucking snows for 4 months in Boston. And half the kids in the town play hockey. What was I supposed to do with my kid? Put more bike lanes in, take away lanes for me to drive. What am I supposed to do? Put a hockey bag and goalie equipment on my back and put my kid in a basket in the front and drive and ride a bike in the snowstorm? I mean, the stupidity is outrageous. She's got an office of LGBTQAI plus two-spirit penguin advancement that she put into City Hall. What do? Nobody knows. But they cost about $500,000 a year in taxpayer dollars. They give away free heroin needles because it's healthy instead of helping people to get off heroin. What you see in San Francisco with the homeless problem, you should go to Mass and Cass. All over Boston, there are zombies walking in the streets, just standing, falling over. There's rape, murder, constant assault in these camps, tent camps in Boston, where it gets to be 20 below with the wind chill because she feeds the heroin addiction. It's not working. Nothing that these people are doing are working. They're creating more division. They're spending tax dollars, good after bad, the sanctuary city thing. Massachusetts is spending like $50 million a month or something like that. I think it's more than that now. That's an old stat. And they just keep raising taxes. Meanwhile, if you drive around Boston, prepare to get new shocks or tires on your car on the regular because there's so many potholes and the roads have gotten so bad there that it's like driving in a third world country. And everybody's angry. I went to Boston first in 1992 and I fell in love with it. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. It was, by comparison, Boston was small. It was clean. It was charming. Very family-oriented town. It's going to hell in a handbasket. And it's about time that they made it to the national stage. People should know how bad it's gotten there. They overcame the curse of the Bambino. I hope they can overcome the curse of Michelle Wu and progressive politics. That's it. Thanks for listening, guys. Drop a sub.